Hey guys, it's Shelby. Today is a little bit of a different video, especially for this channel. It's been at least a week since I got home now. Yeah, a couple days, over a week. So today I'm going to be telling you guys all about my experience to St. Maarten. It's going to be half talking, half pictures and videos and stuff like that. I didn't get to take very many videos while I was there because if you guys didn't know, I went with my family. So like I said, when I was about to leave, I was going to try to vlog as much as possible, but my main focus was to be with my family. So obviously I wasn't really focused on camera with me everywhere. I went to vlog. Okay, so I have my phone so that way I can kind of remember everything that happened. The day that we left was Sunday, the 27th of June, so about 2 weeks ago. And if you don't know where St. Maarten is an island in the Caribbean or the West Indies. So we flew over the Bahamas and Cuba and all that to get there. And let me tell you, it is paradise there, but getting there is so hard, especially if you live in California or any of the western states like I do. It is so difficult, which makes sense because when we went there, we met so many people from the East Coast because it only is like a 3-hour flight from the East Coast versus the West Coast, which is a 10-hour flight. So yeah, we left on the 27th, and we took a red-eye flight. So if you don't know what that means, we left at around 10 o'clock at night, California time. We're already kind of tired, but that was kind of the point because if you don't know, with red-eye flights, you're kind of supposed to try to sleep on them because they do go into the night. But it's kind of difficult because the planes are so small now that it's really hard to try to fall asleep on them. I got lucky because we have a family of 3 and there's 3 seats, so I didn't have to sit by any strangers. I sat on the window seat next to my mom, and then my dad was on the aisle because he's the biggest person, so obviously he needed the most room, hence on the aisle. And then I just took a lot of pictures of the skyline and everything, so I'll insert those as well. Okay, and then so we weren't able, I don't know why, if it was just cheaper or whatever, we did not fly straight from here to LAX to Miami. We flew from LAX to Orlando, and then we stopped in Orlando and then flew from Orlando to Miami, Miami to St. Maarten. So when we finally got to Orlando, I was super, super tired, and so in Orlando, I obviously stopped and got my Arby's because I was super, super tired. It was 7 o'clock in the morning and I needed coffee, obviously, so I stopped and got my regular, and then I took pictures in the clouds. Thankfully, the flight from Orlando to Miami was only an hour long, so it wasn't a big deal, and yeah. And then when we stopped in Miami, I saw the cutest thing ever. They had this, I took a horrible picture, but they had this robotic minion there. So it was really, really cool to be able to, and it would follow you and everything, and it was playing around with this kid, and it was really, really cool. He was so cute. And our last leg of the flight into St. Maarten, that was kind of the hardest for me, honestly, because it was 4 hours or 5 hours, I believe. We were all just sick of being on a plane at this point. And then we finally we're descending into St. Maarten, and then we had to fill out these immigration papers, because if you guys know, if you go anywhere out of the country, you have to fill out custom papers and immigration and everything. Welcome to St. Maarten, and then on the back side you had to fill out a bunch of information about where you were staying, how long you were staying for, all that good stuff, just because they want to know. Finally, we got there. It was pretty early in the day, I believe. I don't remember exactly what time, but they're also 4 hours ahead of us here in California, so that kind of threw us off as well. And then we'd been flying the entire day, so we were all really, really tired. So we just we got our rental car. It's green, but that came in a lot of handy because we would never have found our car. Having the green car was really, really nice to have because, again, it was really easy to find and it fit the island style, so that was really cool as well. I need to kind of hurry this up because this video is going to be like 1,000 years long if I don't. So pretty much we stayed at a timeshare and we were so lucky. We got it on the first floor and we were able to walk out to the beach. And it was like this own little private beach and there weren't that many people there. So it was almost like it was our own beach. It was the coolest thing ever. And it was really, really cool. So on the first night we just went and we swam in the beach and everything. And then if we walked across the street, there were a bunch of restaurants. So if we walked across the street, there's a bunch of restaurants. So we just walked over there and the restaurant was literally on the water. So it was the coolest thing ever. And we ate there and then we went back to the hotel and hung out the rest of the night. And then the next day, again, we just went in the water, I believe. It was a little bit overcast, but it was pretty nice. And we just went and explored the island a little bit. Sint Maarten has two sides to it. There's the Dutch side and the French side. So Sint Maarten and then Sint Maarten. Went to like where the border is and we took pictures by where the borders are. So that was really, really fun. We went to a hotel just to check it out. And we saw iguanas. And they scared the crap out of me. But my mom made me take a picture by them. So yeah, there's really scary, but I did it. And then we went to, there's this island that connects to this island, so let's go there. So we went on this ferry boat, and it's like this tiny boat, and we were the only ones on it with this guy driving it. And then, so we went over the ferry boat, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw a lot of these pictures already. So if you're not following me on there, probably should, so that way you can look at all of these amazing pictures. And then, so we went to this island. There wasn't that many people on the island either, so it was really, really cool. And I like took a bunch of pictures by this really cute palm tree. That was really, really fun. And okay, so I'm gonna kind of summarize the rest of the trip so you guys aren't sitting here forever and I'm boring the heck out of you, because pretty much we just did the same type of stuff every single day. Just went to the beach and really experienced the island and everything around it. This is what the island is most known for, is when the planes come in, and they come in really, really low. So this big, huge KLM jet, which is a 747, which if you do not know, it's the double-decker one. That's when everyone like freaks out because it's the biggest jet, obviously. So when it comes in, you stand underneath it on like this beach area. But we stood under it, and I almost had a panic attack standing under this thing because it literally, it felt like if my dad like put his arms up all the way, he would have touched the plane. Like, it was so scary, you guys, but I am so, so, so happy that I did it, because I know that if I didn't do it, I would have been really mad at myself and wished that I did it. So I'm really happy that I did, even though it was really, really scary while I did it. But yeah, it was really, really fun, so I'll insert. Okay, and then we went to another neighboring island, which is called Anguilla, and I posted a lot of pictures from there because my brother hooked us up with this really, really cute private villa type thing, and it was really, really cool. It was like 4 bedrooms, so we each had our own bedroom, which was the coolest thing ever. Had a private pool, and it overlooked the water. There's me just chilling, and it overlooks the water, and it was the coolest thing ever. So it was really, really, it was just an amazing, amazing, amazing experience. Definitely once in a lifetime of us where we were on the map. So the little blue dots is us, and then there's the US and everything. So, and that's the Like, that's Florida and everything, and that's where we were. So just give you guys kind of an idea. It was really, really cool. Like, that was our view in the morning when we woke up. It was the coolest thing ever, so I am eternally grateful for that, because I don't know when I'll ever be able to do that again. Like, that was crazy fun, and it was just so, so, so fun. And then, so we went back to St. Maarten. We stayed there for one day, and then we went back to St. Maarten, and pretty much we just hung out and went to the beach again, ate, did all that good stuff. Pretty much just went to the beach, and then we celebrated the 4th in St. Maarten, so that was really, really fun as well. They didn't have anything going on, sadly. It was still fun to check all of that out. And then this is where it gets really fun, guys. Not really, but yeah. On the day that we were supposed to leave on Sunday the 5th, so we went to the airport and we went through security and customs and everything, checked our bags and everything, and then we go to the, like, where we're supposed to board and everything, and there's a big sign where, like, the people are. It said volunteers needed, and we're like, what the heck does that mean? So my dad, being my dad, obviously went and asked them what that was, and pretty much they had overbooked the flight, which happens all the time, guys. Like, it happens all the time. So if you can do this, definitely do this, because it's worth your while. So they booked the flight, and they were asking for volunteers to stay another night in St. Maarten. You might be thinking, that's great, but I need somewhere to stay and all that. Like, how is that going to help? So they offered to give us, each of us, $650 travel voucher for another flight in the future. They hooked us up with a hotel that was all-inclusive, so we could eat whenever we wanted, all we wanted. Everything was all-inclusive. And we got to stay in St. Maarten for another day for free. Obviously, we're gonna do that. So my dad took the deal, obviously, got all that stuff, and above all, we got to stay in St. Maarten another night for free, which is the best thing ever. And we got $650 travel voucher, which is amazing. Everything was fine. The hotel was amazing. Again, we went down to the beach, just hung out, went back up, got some food, went back to the beach, got up, went some food. That was the drill pretty much. And then the next day when we checked out, started the trip. That was not fun at all. When we first got there and checked everything in, it was fine. Like, everything from St. Maarten to Miami was perfectly fine. Like, everything was fine. So we got off the thing in Miami. Coming back into the United States, if I ever have an option to not go through Miami airport, I will stay away from that airport, because that was the most horribly run airport. Like, if I was just flying domestically, I'd be fine, but flying internationally, coming back into the US, into that airport, was literally a nightmare. Like, I had a panic attack going into that airport, because let me tell you what happened. One, we landed late. So we thought we landed like 10 minutes late. So we were like, okay, we have about 2 hours before our flight like an hour and a half before our flight boards. So we'll be fine. We were so wrong. So we got off the plane. Okay. Once we got off the plane, we had to go to this little area, which was the first area of customs, where you had to wait in line. And you go to this machine and you put in your passport, and it like takes a picture of you and will etch a sketch of your face to make sure that it's you. That was fine. So we did that. And then once you had those, you had to take a train just to get to there. You had to take another train to get to the next point, which you had to wait in line again. for someone to look at your receipt, not even take your receipt, to look at your receipt and then have you go through. And then you had to go to the next line and you had to pick up your luggage. So you had to go to the baggage claim area, like you're leaving, and pick up your luggage. You had to go and bring it to this other area, which I thought was the dumbest thing ever because, okay,
when they said we had to pick up our luggage and move it to the designated area, I thought, okay, they're going to check it again or something, scan it, do something.
They didn't do anything. Like, literally picked it up from the baggage claim, walked it over to the other side of the airport where the guys were with the conveyor belts, and they literally just stuck it in the conveyor belt. They did nothing. And I was like, what the heck? Why did we have to do that? Then came the fun part because we were like, oh my god, by the time we did all this, we literally had 10 minutes until our flight was supposed to board. So I started freaking out because all of this is happening so fast. Like, everyone is moving so fast. We have to move fast because our flight is about to board and we don't want to miss our flight. So I'm like starting to freak out, and I, mind you, did not eat. So that didn't really help either because we thought we were going to have time to eat. So we then had to get in another line. Like, we had to go through security again, and that was horrible. So horrible because it took so long because they only had 2 lanes open versus having 5. So it was going so slow. And then they had, like, in the line, this wasn't like the big problem, but in the line they had like a drug dog sniffing everyone, just making sure. And
there was a girl in front of us who was terrified of this dog. It was a golden retriever, and this girl was terrified of this dog.
Like, she was probably around 14. Like, I get being scared of dogs, but there's this big security man holding the dog. I'm pretty sure you are going to be fine. Like, really? So she has a meltdown and she wouldn't walk through the dog. And I'm like, really? The dog's just sitting at the side of the line trying to sniff as you go by. It's not even going to come close to you. You're fine. The whole ordeal. So we sat there for like 5 minutes. I'm over here having a panic attack because all this is just craziness. We finally go through the line. We finally got through security and everything. And then, of course, because my dad had his shoulder surgery, he beeps. So the lady had to, fully pat him down. So that took forever. And then we finally get through security and everything, and we're freaking out because our flight is pretty much already boarded, we think, and flipping out. We don't even know what gate have to go to, where it is, and everything. And we go and we look at the board, and our flight was delayed. Of course it was delayed. Thankfully it was delayed, or else we wouldn't have got on the plane. But then we failed to realize that we didn't look at our tickets in the first place. And when she had booked us our new flight, they put us separate. All 3 of us were separated. I, of course, overreacted about that. I can fly by myself perfectly fine. But, of course, because I already was having a panic attack, I overreacted about that. And I was like, I'm not flying by myself. I'm not sitting by myself when my 2 parents are on the flight with me. I'm not sitting by myself. So my dad had to go and talk to the person through this whole ordeal. Finally, my dad got it so he could sit by me, and we finally got home. And then when we finally got home, we parked in valet. First of all, parked in valet. When we got there, the person could not find my dad's car. Really? Okay, I get that we were gone for over a week. You're the same person who parked our car, took our car from us and parked it, got us, and was trying to find our car. And I'm like, my dad has a very unique car. There's not very many blue Infinities with chrome wheels that he has. He could not find the car, so we were sitting there 45 minutes, and let me tell you, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and we all just wanted to go home, and we're sitting here in LAX trying to find our car in valet, which is this big. Come on. So we finally get the car, and we finally go home, and all of us were so tired to the point where we were just screaming at each other. It wasn't not good, but We were all just so tired, and we finally got home at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was an amazing, amazing trip, but that last part of the trip made it so horrible. 2 life lessons. 3, trip was amazing. Definitely going back there if I ever can. Secondly, if you ever can do that volunteer thing, overbook thing, do it. Thirdly, if you're coming in from outside of the U.S. and you have to transfer your bags, do not go through Miami. I'm sorry if you guys don't like rants, but I just had to get it out there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed all these videos, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And if you don't follow me, if you're not subscribed to my main channel, what are you doing? Go subscribe to my main channel. And I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing day, and I'll see you later.